Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for joining us midweek here. Tonight, we bring you the NBA on 2K Sports. And this is Brian Anderson, along with Grant Hill and Brent Barry. Allie LaForce, our reporter tonight. It's February. Let's see how things are shaping up in the East. You look at Washington, they've been outstanding halfway through this season, looking cohesive and playing for one another. And of course, there's the Nets, far behind in the standings.
Seeing where the Wizards are, you have to really give it to them. I mean, they are backing up all the preseason hype. They've been outstanding early.
And don't count on that coming to an end anytime soon. The talent level of this squad is off the charts. And with the momentum they're gathering here early in the year, they could
Star, Chris Middleton is out there with Malcolm Brogdon. And it's Champagnie at the 4. And for Brooklyn, we've got Cameron Johnson. Cam Thomas out there with D'Angelo Russell. Then it's Williams, and it's Sharp in at the 5 down low. Now here's Russell. Pass to Thomas. Williams on the wing. Back to Thomas. Outside, Williams. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Middleton finds Brogdon. Driving to the basket. And Brogdon with the stuff.
A good job of getting inside. Brogdon finds a way to get two more.
And here's Russell. 14 points his last outing. And as Chris Middleton has gotten older, Brent, he's had to battle a number of injuries.
Yeah, no doubt this is what happens to an aging player. And for Middleton, they seem to just be compounding. The tough thing for the squad that he plays with is just how reliable and important he's been at the biggest moments. So he gives them confidence. He needs to find it back in his own body.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Here's Sarr. And that one comes up a bit short.
And that's just enough defensive pressure on him to throw off that shot. I bet he gets a good look at it next time and hits it.
They get it back. Here's Sharp. Misses from close range.
Hey friend. Enjoy gaming. I'll be working on my series in the background.
How about Brogdon?
Okay, D. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate it.
Brooklyn's gone 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. Thomas outside. Outside Johnson. Fires in the triple.
Such a critical part of how their offense is going to flow. Things are only working when he seems to be on the floor.
Out to the right wing. Pass to Champagnie. Three-pointer. The shot, no good. Brooklyn's gone 2 for 4 from range to start things off. Here's Thomas. That falls. Nice assist by Russell. Thomas has got 5 points.
Sometimes it's the simple play that's most effective. D'Lo with a nice assist.
And we've got a timeout from Brian Keefe. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. He's checked in for Washington. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Brogdon from outside sinks the tray. Brogdon's gotten his 3rd basket of the night.
A good shooter from behind the arc. Selective when he does it. Love how Brogdon lets that one fly.
Thomas outside. They set the screen from the arc. Rebounded by Brogdon. For Washington, they've gone 4 of 6 in the first quarter.
Every time I watch Sarr, I'm just amazed at how light off the floor he is.
And so it's Russell with it. He brings it up for the Brooklyn Nets. Trailing by 2. Their first look at this year's Washington squad.
And in a series of the have-nots last year, they came out on the losing end. Really looking for some improvement here.
Chalk up 2 there. This is that grinded out part of the year, Grant. Everyone just fighting through it.
No question, BA. And it's not just physically exhausting. You're trying to focus on every game, every possession. This is where your leaders can help keep everyone focused.
Williams misses. Washington leading by 4. Pass to Carrington. Buries it down low. Now here's Russell. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. He wants to review the game plan.
They're just giving away a run right now. The question is, can they stop the tide?
Hard to say right now. At this point, I've seen the coaches run through 2 or 3 iterations of defense. Is there a 4th? I'm not sure.
1:05 left in the opening quarter. Johnson passes to Claxton. Outside Johnson to stop the run. And Claxton throws it down.
With power. That's how you do it, big fella.
The Wizards have gone 7 of 9, a solid percentage so far. Here's Carrington. Basket is good on the assist from Brogdon. Brogdon's got his 3rd assist of the night.
I just love the ball movement.
Here's Melton. Checking his stats, he's scoring around 9.5 points per game. Johnson for 3. And the three-pointer goes.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Well, both of them looking towards the three-point line. And I like to see that, especially when the results are made buckets.
Here's Sarr. His last outing, we saw him score 13. Hey, good.
Wow. Some strong perimeter shooting here in the first quarter.
Johnson with it. Over Middleton. He got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. Offense is coming free and easy as we wrap up the first. Wizards out in front. They lead by 7. Quarter number 2 coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us,
Only one
we played
game.
through 1 quarter of action so far. All right, guys, what do you think so far?
Nah, I'll probably play a few.
For the Wizards.
Well, they found a groove, and it's from distance, so knocking them down from the three-point land never hurts.
Well, I want to add also the damage that has been done on the inside. It's a lot of rubble in there, but they're continuing to go right at the defense.
Wizards leading by 7.
Okay, thanks, D.
Then there's DeAnthony Melton. Then there's Johnson. And it's Thomas in at the 3. That's the next 5 as we get into the second quarter. Now here's Thomas. Rebounded by Johnson. Pass to Champagny. Bay with it. Launches it. Counted from distance. Bay's got his 2nd basket of the night.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Nick Claxton, despite his relatively slender frame, is a hard-nosed defender. He said, "I bow down to no one. Every time I step on the court, I always have that chip on my shoulder. That's just the fiery competitor that I am. At the end of the day, I know what I'll hang my hat on, the defensive side of the ball." Brian?
Okay, Allie, thanks for that.
Well, he definitely forced that shot, guys. He had plenty of time to adjust himself and kick the ball out and look for a better shot. Have to give credit to the defense there, too. And not where he earns his money, that three-point shot, but he's a good shooter from that range if he's got space.
Claxton up top. Pass to Thomas. Going inside.
Oh, man. Playing from behind, it's amazing he chose a dunk with that higher difficulty rating.
Yeah, no question. That was a stellar move with plenty of swagger. Sharp, he's checked in for Brooklyn. D'Angelo Russell comes in for Johnson. And a change for the Wizards. Gills checked in for Champagnie. Nets trail by 11. Now Thomas. And that one is hammered home.
And this is exactly how Russell does solid assist numbers. I mean, just great delivery on that play.
Outside Johnson. Bay from long range. Nails it from 3. Bay's got 6 points in the quarter.
I mean, I guess they're willing to give him that shot. They may want to rethink that strategy, though.
And here's Russell. He's scoreless. Now here's Watford. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Melton. Ooh, lands soft on the front of the rim and drops in.
Looks like we're starting to see a pattern here. Not afraid to get in the paint and get wet.
On the wing, Bay. There's the 3. And again, it's Washington with a 3.
12 straight points off threes. This defense is not extending very well.
And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players. For Brooklyn, Johnson, he's checked in for Watford. And Williams is subbed in for Melton. Here in quarter 2, we played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Outside Johnson. Thomas outside. Shot clock at 6. It's rebounded by Washington. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Hornets.
It seemed like they were forcing shots, and the shooting percentage reflected that.
Yeah, I'll say anytime you're having trouble getting over that 40% field goal mark, it's probably not going to be your night.
And Brooklyn with possession here after the basket by Washington.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Rebounded by Johnson. Washington leading by 15. Here's Bay. And the foul is called. He missed it, so he's got a couple of free throws coming his way.
What Bay knows the scouting report is these guys are going to come out to take your shot away, so use that to your advantage, get inside, and draw a foul.
Washington shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game. He misses the free throw. Melton, he's checked in.
Support the stream. Hit the Cash App dollar bake fire.
He sinks the second.
Utility guys like Saddiq Bey can be very valuable assets. He really makes the effort to give you a little bit of everything in there to try to make a difference. This can make it so much easier for your teammate when you throw that lead pass that gets to him right on the money, whether that's on the run or in the shooting pocket.
Here's Sarr.
You are now rocking with the best.
From downtown.
Welcome.
He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
When you let a team knock down that many threes, you know you're likely to be on the wrong side of a run.
Nets trail by 17. Here's Melton. Driving inside, and he dunks it down.
Just great offense. The screen freeing him up for the slam.
Hey, without that screen, he doesn't get a clean look at the rim.
Yeah, well, you settle for the layup when you can attack the rim and rise up like that. We'll have a hard time shaking that one off. Perfect position, plenty of space, just clanked it.
Pass to Russell. Here's the pick. Now Williams. Now here's Melton. 14 feet away. Rebounded by Champagnie. 17 seconds left to play in the first half. The 3 is up. He's off on that one. Russell deciding where to go with it. And then Russell with the dunk.
And just a lack of fight right now on the defensive end.
Right? At least on that slam it was. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
You have to credit the aggressiveness offensively because that's when you make a play when you really need it.
And so that's the end of the first half. It's Washington. They lead by 13. On 2K Sports.
And as we welcome you to halftime, no other way to say it, an abysmal start for the Brooklyn Nets.
If they think they'll win with this kind of defense, they're tripping. When you give up that many good shots, it fuels your opponent's fire.
You're like gasoline on a flame, I'd say. All right, and now one of the more highly anticipated topics. Some news about trades to discuss.
I think John Collins will fold seamlessly into this rotation. Obviously, his scoring and rebounding are big, but...
Thanks for joining us. Time to head back over to the third quarter.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Boy, you gotta like what we're seeing from Saddiq Bey.
I like how they control the tempo and play to his strengths.
Yeah, this is showing that they're not going to play at anybody else's pace but their own.
On the court right now for the Wizards, we've got Malcolm Brogdon, Sarr out there with Chris Middleton, and it's Champagnie at the power forward. NBA scoring has been climbing over the past decades, Graham. Is the league too offensive at the moment, you think?
Well, we know that people like scoring, the fans, players, everyone, but the league needs to make sure they aren't hamstringing defenders too much. So I think allowing some more physicality incentivizes the defender to defend, and now we have competition on both sides of the ball.
How about Brogdon just adjusting there and then finishing with contact?
Outside, Williams. Back to Russell. Pass to Thomas. Here's Williams. Over Middleton. Out of bounds. It'll be Washington's ball. And for an idea of how the league is shaping up right now, take a look at these latest power rankings. You look at Oklahoma City, they're building some momentum right now and aiming for a spot in the top 5.
You know, right now for Washington, they continue to look incredibly dangerous. The cohesion and teamwork they show on a nightly basis has a lot to do with that.
There's the triple. Brooklyn pulls it in. Sharp's got 4 rebounds in the game. Thomas finds Williams. Back to Thomas. Outside Russell. No good there. Good work defensively by Brogdon. Pass to Champagnie. The 3. Russell with the rebound. And so it's Russell with it. He brings it up for the Brooklyn Nets. 15-point game. They'll be hosting Miami for their next game. Here's Thomas for 3. And the Nets miss again.
Trying to get it going. Only 1 for 5 to start the second half.
Brogdon, the pass to Sarr. Basket is good on the assist from Brogdon. Brogdon's got 4 assists in the game.
Yeah, in the lane there. I mean, that's easy money.
Timeout, timeout. And Jordi Fernandez calls timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys.
And things are always changing throughout a game. Teams have to adjust on the fly.
And timeouts are a wonderful opportunity to just settle in and recollect the thoughts of your entire team. Not just the guys playing, but the entire team.
Sharp with it. Outside Russell. Sharp, a screen on Brogdon. The 3 from Russell. Nails it from beyond the arc. Russell's got 5.
Yeah, I love the play there from D'Lo. Uses the play, gets some space, and then knocks it down.
Melton, he's checked in for Williams. Now we get a chance to check some stats for Nicholas Claxton.
And over the last 5 games, his field goal percentage has increased. And you can make a case his confidence as well because of this.
Washington leading by 14. Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
When it comes to winning big, basketball acumen is the difference. LeBron James said, quote, in the final 2 rounds of the playoffs, what's going to separate teams is IQ. There's moments in the game that a coach can't prepare you for, where you have to make adjustments right away. It's not experience, it's IQ.
He would know, Allie. Thanks. To the inside, Sharp, up and in on the layup. Sharp's gotten his 2nd bucket.
It's not easy to work the ball inside in this league, but they've done it all night.
Middleton, right side. Beyond the arc. And good. Coming on the assist by Brogdon. Brogdon's got 6 assists now in the game.
Well, he's accurate from behind the arc, and there's a reason why Chris Middleton takes a good amount of three-pointers.
The Wizards making a switch here. Melton outside. There's a screen. Pass to Sharp. Russell with the ball. And he was camped in the lane there. He gets a 3-second call. And as we start to wrap up voting, this list of contenders for the three-point contest begins to take its final form. And I gotta say, this is an impressive collection of talent.
Yeah, it sure is, B.A. Every single one of these guys has a clean shot at taking home the trophy. They are all elite shooters from three-point range.
You look at Middleton, he's right on the cusp of securing his spot in the three-point contest. So I hope those votes keep pouring in because he's a guy you'd love to see in the mix.
Yeah, if he can make it in the door, you know he will do everything he can to win the whole thing, and it'll be a lot of fun to watch.
The voting is just about over. We'll keep you updated. This is just a tremendous list.
And each year that passes by, it becomes more and more difficult to pick a field. So many talented shooters in the NBA right now.
Russell against Brogdon. Now here's Russell. Defense is right there. Soft touch off the glass.
It's interesting. They definitely had more three-point attempts in the first half. Not sure why they went away from it.
And the bucket is good.
The assist numbers certainly stand out. They've really emphasized ball movement here today.
44 seconds left in the third. Johnson passes to Russell. Fires the three. It's rebounded by Washington. Here's Gill. Pass to Bay. The three ball. And he drains it. A solid 5 for 6 now.
Yeah, Bay likes to get to that corner, get his feet set. He's ready to knock down three balls.
Just 1 second separating the shot clock. With the dunk.
Just knifing his way to the rim.
He looked practically unstoppable on that play. Brogdon, the pass to Holmes. Back to Brogdon. Here's Coulibaly. And a miss there on the triple. And so it's Washington out in front by 19 going into the break. Their efficiency has been off the charts. They're running their sets well with patience and purpose. More 2K action in just a moment. And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. They've got Johnson. Trendon Watford is out there with Cameron Thomas. Then there's DeAnthony Melton. And it's Claxton in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the Nets 5. Here's Thomas. That's good. And now he's 5 for 11 in this one.
They have no answer defensively inside.
Wizards leading by 17. Johnson passes to Gill. Fires the three. Doesn't go that time. Well, Brooklyn's shooting 47% on this one. Looking efficient. Pass to Johnson. And he drives it in. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
So sick, the vertical ability.
That was flat out awesome. He has that effortless knack for getting to the hoop. Here's Gill. From outside the arc. Drops in the three. And the Wizards lead by 18.
As the deep shots continue to fall, you can sense the frustration growing among these defenders.
Melton outside. Pass to Claxton. Here's Thomas. Second chance effort. And here's Watford. Melton outside. Launches a three. And Holmes pulls it down.
He had more than enough room to hit that. Just couldn't make it happen.
Bay. And count that. 2 points and a chance for one more at the line.
And that's Bay sticking with the play and enduring the foul.
And let's take a moment to get your take, guys, on the scoring so far for the Wizards.
I mean, they played some beautiful basketball all game. The passing has been impressive, and it's opened up things with their ball movement.
Well, the three-point shot has been absolutely huge for them this entire game. And let's be honest, you have to knock down threes to win games these days.
Russell from outside. And that one falls. His 5th basket in 7 tries.
Yeah, I don't think that kind of range scares off D'Angelo Russell.
Pass to Holmes. Bay from long range.
How within like they do.
Bay's got 9 points now in the second half.
Oh, they won it. So they'll be playing Indiana for the Eastern Conference Championship. Yeah, they blew them out.
The defense knows they're in trouble.
But again, too, they didn't have the Celtics. Didn't have Jason Tatum. He got hurt early in the series.
Their last 6 buckets have come from the interior.
Yeah, the Knicks are back.
Here's Middleton. There's the drive. Lays it up and banks it in.
Man, how about the focus there? Middleton taking the contact well and then completes the drive.
They were going crazy by the stadium outside. It was like they said like 1 million people out there. Climbing on the light poles and stuff.
Some extra camera time chilling on the rim.
Yeah, he did spend a little time up there, didn't he? And timeout is called
question.
by Brian Keith. He's looking to make some very important adjustments here.
Oh, you talking about
Rocking with the best.
okay, you talking about for hockey, the cup?
And now let's take a look at the New Balance player of the game, Saddiq Bey.
It's almost beyond belief what he's done in this game. He's been impossible to cool off, hitting just about everything he looks at. It doesn't matter who's guarding him. He's had an answer for just about everyone.
I'll tell you, this team depends on him to lead them, and he did just that tonight. He doesn't take this responsibility lightly. You could tell it was important for him to grab a win here.
C00 leaders about the light poles, although I thought that was only a Philly thing.
I think people were so excited because, you know, the Knicks haven't won a title since the 70s. So,
Brogdon against Russell.
oops.
And it's Brogdon missing.
And they supposed to be like the,
What do you think about
yeah, very,
Here's Sharp.
of course I'm going for the Knicks, but
Sarr pulls
it should be, I think it can go 7 games.
4 rebounds now.
Indiana got a good team too.
that long ago?
Up and over Russell. Brogdon with
There
the
you go. Yeah, I think it's going to go 7.
Purpose now here.
But I got the Knicks in 7.
There's a minute 54 left in the final quarter. Russell against Brogdon. Here's Thomas. And he makes it on the layup.
Oh, where'd you do that?
Thomas has got 6 points in the quarter.
His arrow's been trending up as of late, and he's been magnificent tonight.
Pass to Carrington. The 3 is up. Washington gets it back.
Nice rebound, Saw.
The 3. He drops it
But,
from range.
And you
that's
can
gonna be
see
your
how
3-point
scary
champion
this
right
team
there.
Can be when everything is clicking for them. Just a terrific
I for some reason thought they've won this century.
Kind of blowout, but tonight,
Man, it's been a minute. Not since
I mean, what's so impressive is
Walt
they
Frazier
never
was the point
wavered in
guard.
their approach. They just kept at it and showed
what, Willis Reed and Bill Bradley was on that team.
this game pushes them to 49 wins.
always good to start a season.
They won it. I think they won it back to back. I think it was 76, 77, but they did win it back to back.
Two matchups between these two should be fun.
And as it was happening,
That's the last time they won.
building, you knew this This was a
They've
monster
made
game
it
for
to
Saddiq
the
Bey.
finals,
Does a
but
great job of looking for space
they haven't
and
won
then
it
finding it.
since
That's
that.
taking advantage of what the defense is giving you.
He gets it in there.
And his fantastic performance from the last game
This
has
might be the year
carried over
again.
to tonight.
Yeah, and the coach pretty smart for zoning in on him and giving him opportunities to stay with that confident play.
Here's Champagnie.
There we go.
And the Wizards with another three.
You got to give them respect. They're doing everything they can to close this out.
Loved it. The guy
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
in this ball game.
Possibly, time will tell.
Oh yeah.
9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Russell from outside. The rebound by the Wizards. Now Brogdon. Pass to Champagnie. Launches it from deep. Williams grabs the board. And here's Russell. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. This one wasn't even close. The hometown crowd was waiting for a miracle that never came.
Yeah, and this team was consistent throughout. They met every challenge, and they earned this dub.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Allie LaForce, Grant Hill, and Brent Barry, this is Brian Anderson thanking you for watching tonight's game. And let's leave you with our player of the game, Saddiq Bey.
Not too bad for not having our best player right now. Some of our best players still hurt.
Fun game. See you at the next one.
Oh yeah. I want to see Jordan back off injury though. I'd rather have him in there than not have him in there. Shit, he's still hurt. Oh yeah, he's still hurt.
And a chance for everyone to get some shots up. Find the touch. Find the range. Find themselves. We're almost at game time. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to 2K Sports and another exciting edition of NBA basketball.
33:30 roughly.
We'll see the Cleveland Cavaliers as they go
Thank you, D.
Washington Wizards here in Capital One Arena. This is Kevin Harlan. I'm joined by
Support the
Richard
stream.
Jefferson and Greg Anthony.
Hit the cash
And
$1
David
bait
Aldridge will
fire.
be reporting from the sideline.
Welcome back. Welcome to those that are
Injuries
new.
here between the two teams. 5 players out tonight.
5 players unavailable tonight. A lot of minutes and shots to go around.
Yeah, most of our team is out.
Here's the starting
This is
group.
NBA action on 2K, played by Joe. We hope you enjoy the game today.
Allen in the post. A loaded backcourt. It's Garland and Mitchell.
Appreciate that, D.
Small forward. And for the Wizards, they've got Sarr. Chris Middleton is out there with Brogdon. And it's Champagnie in at the power forward. All-star break is right.
Joe, why don't you take them into your mind and let your fans know the game plan?
As excited as I am.
Oh, I'm very excited, Kevin. These contests are going to be huge this year. I can just tell.
Yeah.
Now, here's Garland.
I hear you, D. I
Performance
can't.
against Detroit. And the shot is
go into that too much because I still be in competition with some of these cats, maybe. So I can't give all the secrets away today.
Brogdon against Garland. And that one's good, Brogdon.
But if somebody's watching me and they do want to play me, they can pick up all things. So.
That wide open. Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those.
Now, here's Mitchell. He's been putting up the points on a very steady basis.
I hear you, though. I thought about doing that too, but
break in the action gives us a chance now.
All right, sure makes sense. Winking face with hand over mouth.
It's going to be one of those nights when Donovan Mitchell just goes off. He told me it's like guarding a ticking time bomb. You never know when he's going to blow up, but you're anticipating it. So coach is expecting the best out of his team, preparing for the worst. Guys?
All right, David, thanks. And while the offense is developing, Alex Sarr is already a huge presence at the defensive end.
Yeah, along with being a great rim protector, he's a 7-footer who can really slide his feet on the perimeter. He can switch on the guards and make them work for their opportunities.
And here's Brogdon from the arc. Drops in the tray. Brogdon's got 5.
Well, it's much easier to space the floor when you have effective shooters like Brogdon on your roster.
Hunter kicks to Mobley. Garland.
You want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
The Wizards working the ball around now. Here's Champagnie. Those 3-pointers off the mark. For Cleveland, they've gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Hunter dishes to Mobley. Left block shot on the way, and he can't bank that one in. Pass to Carrington. From outside the arc, and good coming on the assist by Brogdon.
Nice feed by Brogdon. Excellent at whipping those passes to open teammates.
The 3 from Garland. Good on the 3-point shot. He's got 7.
Timeout.
And it's Brian Keefe calling timeout here. He's ready to talk things through with the team. Bays checked in for the Wizards. Max Strus is checked in for the Cavaliers. Washington's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Shoots the 3. Carrington, that's good.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
The Cavaliers trail by 4. And Richard Cleveland this summer able to sign Donovan Mitchell to a 4-year contract extension.
And that's a relief for Cavs fans. Mitchell is the biggest star they've had in Ohio since LeBron. Keeping him in the fold is crucial for the dynamic of their team.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Brogdon.
Like what? Like, what is going on right now?
And Cleveland making a change here. Wade's checked in. Garland against Brogdon. And he lays it straight in. Garland's got 9.
Looking for a high percentage shot. Garland wants the best look he can get.
Stolen by Garland. And Garland with a clear path to the basket. No good. That would have tied it. And so it's Brogdon who brings up the ball for the Wizards. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road, but they found ways to get their guys good looks.
Yeah, they seem unfazed by the hostile environment. I mean, just look at how efficiently they shot the ball. You want to know why they're winning? It's because of his play offensively.
Middleton outside. And a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in.
It's difficult trying to throw Middleton off his rhythm. Remarkable job staying with that shot.
Cavaliers trailing. Mitchell outside. The wide open shot from Strus. Off target with his 3.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Here's Carrington. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. He's got 8.
Now, how did he manage to change his shot midair.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Shot from 12. Allen's shot is off.
Not that time, but that's a shot that he's going to make more oftentimes than not.
Middleton the pass to Sarr, and he makes that one.
Showing some strength on that finish. Sarr just pushing through that contact.
The three from Garland. Hits the three-point bomb.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
He's just riding the wave of momentum right now, getting to his spots and keeping things simple on the offensive side.
Oh, yes, he can! Yes, he can!
At the buzzer, that's why he's that dude.
Yeah. Wow, what a way to finish up the quarter.
Yeah, that's 1-100 type shot. But, hey, that is why you just throw it up there.
No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Wizards lead by 5. We'll be back shortly, live from Washington. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Wizards.
Well, so far, their long-range shooting has been the story, doing damage from deep.
And another thing Coach will be thrilled with, the assist numbers, spreading the wealth and creating some offensive opportunities.
So on the floor for Cleveland. At the forward spot, it's Strus and Mobley. Okoro out there with Sam Merrill, and it's Thompson in at the 5. Thompson a screen on Bay. Strus against Bay. Johnson outside. And Thompson sends it back. Here's Okoro. Rebounded by Holmes. Washington leading now by 8. Here's Koulibaly. The shot goes in. First shot, first basket.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Merrill finds Mobley. Mobley sets the pick for Strus. Takes the 3. Washington with the rebound. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. It'll be the second of 5 straight played at home. Here's Koulibaly, covered by Okoro. Here's Champagnie. Off target from outside. The Cavaliers trail by 10. And one thing we see from Isaac Okoro almost every night, Richard, his defense is spot on.
Yeah, he's shutting down some of the top guys. This team feels like he's one of the best on-ball defenders in the league. And as a bonus, his offensive game is starting to come around.
Cavaliers have gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter. Merrill passes to Thompson. Pass to Strus. Looking to end the run, and he sinks the layup. Strus has got his first basket.
For some reason, I thought you were doing playoff games.
Love to see.
Over to the wing.
Yeah, I still am. I just I started this series earlier.
The Cavaliers trail by 10.
Because they don't have any games today. They don't play again until tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Denver and
is certainly going international.
Denver play.
Mr. Adam Silver says, with basketball's exponential
Denver.
growth, it's now truly a global game. We're fortunate that the very best in the world want to play in a single league. And Kevin, the NBA can...
Oh yeah, Denver and OKC. Yeah, that's only. Nobody's playing tonight, and they're playing tomorrow.
Undeniable. And it's Brian Keefe calling timeout here. He wants to
And then both conferences, the West Conference Championship starts next week, and then the Eastern starts next week with the Knicks and Pacers. I think one starts Tuesday and one starts Wednesday.
So both teams making some changes here. Teams that make their free throws, they're so tough down the stretch. Let's check out the best. In third, the Cavaliers. The Wizards fifth.
Support the stream.
Yeah, not too bad. Field goal.
$50 bake fires.
It's not too bad for a
How
team.
well they shoot the ball at the free throw line.
We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Pass to Carrington. Wizards passing it around. Over Mitchell. Mitchell comes up with the rebound. And it's Mitchell with the ball for Cleveland, trailing by 10. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
Yeah, those road games are tricky, but they had a good strategy going in and stuck to what they do best.
Yeah, despite the challenges of being away from home, they were able to execute cleanly and look really.
I know you said Knicks in 7. Would you be surprised with the blowout? Or do you think that won't happen?
Oh yeah, I'll be surprised. They pretty evenly matched. I would be shocked if either team had a blowout. Yeah, I think it's gonna go 7. They so evenly matched. I would like it to be a sweep, but I don't think so. Though.
Only selecting higher than 8th once in the last decade, but they have passed on some superstar level talent.
And the first one drops.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, I'd say 7, but I don't gamble, so.
That's getting more notice.
I think it is.
All right, interesting.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Incorporated that into their arsenal. It's been fun to watch, man, and I tell you, it creates some uncomfortable situations.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Well, last season, the Cavaliers won their first playoff series since 2018. That's when LeBron was looking great.
And it was their first series win.
No, best for us to not gamble. That's for SRE.
So it was a huge deal for the organization as they continue to take steps in the right direction.
And it just seems
Yeah. Yeah, you can win some, but you can lose some too. You might lose everything.
offensively, for sure.
I was talking about gambling.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Holmes passes to Brogdon. Here's Middleton. Played in with a nice touch.
There you go, Chris.
Middleton's got 10 points.
Yeah, Middleton is a talented scorer from anywhere on the floor. Goes to the paint and does his thing.
Pass to Tyson. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. Wizards leading by 16. Back to Holmes. Here's Brogdon. Here's Shaw. And good coming on the assist by Brogdon. Brogdon's got 5 assists tonight. So it's the Cavaliers now. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Now, here's Hunter. He's tightly guarded.
Yeah, it's tight man. I'll do it on the halftime break.
Hunter's got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
This is today's NBA. Hey, we see this kind of exchange more often than not.
And so it's Washington with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Chris, you guys were able to get the lead. What was the key to getting all those open shots?
It was just getting stops, getting rebounding, getting out and pushing, finding lanes, finding open guys.
And you made the most of it, Chris. Thanks a lot. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
Hey, folks, thanks for joining us. It would be an understatement to say it's been a great half for the Washington Wizards.
Hey, these guys are a bunch of artists, man. You know why? They live for the paint.
Oh, that joke was weak, but their play style is Diesel approved.
I wouldn't say the joke was weak, it just needed a capper. Taking a peek now at the upcoming schedule.
And for that matchup with the Timberwolves, this looks like a complete toss-up to me. Talent level is similar. These games often come down to a few key plays.
And if that's the case, we'll see who has the better closers tonight. And that's a halftime wrap. Let's get back to the second half with the call by Kevin Harlan and the crew.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. We're seeing a tremendous game here, guys, from Darius Garland.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column? Through 2 quarters, he has been terrific.
He always wants to be a go-to guy for them. I'm sure he'll be calling for the ball even more in this half.
Washington leading now by 18. Sarr out there with Holmes. Then it's Saddiq Bey. Then there's Malcolm Brogdon. And it's Carrington in at the shooting guard. That's the 5 on the floor for the Wizards. Here's Sarr. And a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. Sarr's got the first points of the second half here for the Wizards. Outside Garland. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
For 3, Brogdon. And the Wizards hit again from deep.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Garland against Brogdon. Now, here's Hunter. Guarded close, and it's good for 2. Hunter's got his second basket of the night.
A solid mid-range shooter. Hunter knows where his strengths are.
And the way the Wizards like to play, Greg, you can expect them to get out and run.
Yeah, they're young, and they can fly, right? They've got speed and athleticism to get up and down the floor. They'll push the tempo as much as you allow them.
Back to Garland. Cavaliers moving the ball around. Allen, that's good.
And this is where Allen should look to score because he's got the size and length.
And we've got a timeout called by Brian Keefe. He's made the decision he wants to huddle up with his guys. So for the Wizards, Champagne's checked in, and Middleton subbed in for Bey. Here's Middleton. He's got 10. Brogdon outside. Pass to Carrington. Three-pointer. And good. Coming on the assist by Brogdon. Brogdon's got his 7th assist here tonight. And so Garland will bring it up for the Cavaliers. Stolen. Mitchell against Brogdon. And stolen by Hunter. Here's Mitchell. And the dunk by Mitchell.
Oh, wow. Welcome to dance class hosted by Donovan Mitchell.
Nice job capturing the moments on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Here's Sarr. Sinks that one from the post. Sarr's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Okay, so they've looked energized and focused starting this half. Coming out of the break, making 4 out of their first 5.
Garland with the bucket.
His shot has been on point from the opening tip. He's pretty much kept them in the game.
Pass to Carrington. The three-pointer no good.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue this.
G.A., you look how Garland can create for himself. Very good off the catch or the bounce.
So deadly off of those high pick and rolls because he can dribble into that 3. A playmaker that can do that is a headache. Garland knows how to create that space and get his looks.
To the middle. Here's Mobley. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Sends his first day in the league, Richard. Evan Mobley has been an elite defender.
And that's why he's been compared to Hall of Famers like Kevin Garnett. But we still need to see him develop the offensive end for those comparisons to be fair.
And the here's Bay. Drains the three-pointer. Bay's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Allen kicks to Strus. Mobley a screen on Bay. And it's Strus missing. Wizards leading by 20. Holmes passes to Bay. The 3-ball. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Bay's got 6 in the quarter.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
And you see this so much more nowadays in the NBA. Teams putting a larger emphasis on jacking up threes.
Pass to Song. Beyond the arc. Jared Allen grabs the miss. The Cavaliers trail by 21. To the inside. Lays it in off a pretty alley-oop.
Great instincts with the ball. Garland just picks a guy. Look, he sets him up to score.
Here's Carrington. 12 points for him. No, it doesn't go. His 4th miss in 8 attempts. The shot and game clock separated by 4. And Mitchell at the dunk.
I see you, Mr. Mitchell. Now look, for a 6'1" guard, this man can absolutely fly.
Pass to Holmes. Here's Bay. The Wizards with another miss. And here's Strus for 3. No good that time. And so it's the Washington Wizards out in front by 17 points at the end of the quarter. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far from the field. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard with the pass right on the money.
He'll be proud of that one. Bigs love when their passing skills are noticed.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the 4th quarter, but stranger things have happened. And so in the game for the Cavaliers, we've got a Coro. Max Strus is out there with Hunter. Then there's Garland. And it's Tyson in at the center position.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Bay. Connects from 3-point range. Bay's got 9 points now in just the second half. Here's Garland. He makes his 9th shot of the game. He has only missed 4.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Here's Bay. And the Wizards hit again from deep.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Now here's Okoro. He's defended by Coulibaly. Just over a minute played here in the 4th. Hunter no good. Wizards leading by 19. Pass to Coulibaly. From deep. And it's Strus with the rebound. For Cleveland, they've gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play.
And that's how you lead a team. Literally.
Washington's gone 2 of 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Lets it go from deep. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. The Cavaliers trail by 20. And
timeout,
Kenny
timeout.
Atkinson calls timeout. He's clearly intent on wanting to lock in and make sure everyone's on the same page. And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. Mobley finds Garland. Cleveland moving it around. Goes up on the wing. Good from the moment it left his hand. That makes him 10 for 14.
And a lot of teams avoid the mid-range jumper, but they seem to be using it well.
Middleton right side. Fires from deep. And good. Coming on the assist by Brogdon. Brogdon's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Here's Garland. Count the basket. Garland's got 11 points here in just the second half.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Garland against Brogdon. Pass to Carrington. The three. And again, Washington with the triple.
Well, and this has been their strategy throughout the fourth period. We'll see how it pans out.
I think when you've got it going from three-point range, you've got to keep it going. It's a good way to kind of pile up the points quickly.
Mobley sets the pick for Hunter. Knocked away. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Mobley. And Mobley throws it down.
And nice dime from Hunter there. An unselfish player who knows how to look for his teammates.
Washington calls timeout. They're in front by 20. And now, let's present our New Balance Player of the Game, Malcolm Brogdon.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
He's played up to his full potential tonight, and he's been playing to the crowd, too. He loves being the star attraction, even if it doesn't happen on a regular basis.
Somehow the U lost volume for a few seconds.
Hey, thanks for that, D. Hold on for a second. I'll be back in a second. I'm back.
1:51 left here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
In the corner, it's Hunter. Fires the three. Good. And it's Mitchell picking up the assist.
The game of Mitchell is more about putting up points, but Donovan can dish too.
Washington leading now by 17. And here's Brogdon from the arc. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers. Mobley's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Washington.
The sheer volume of three-pointers was the deciding factor tonight, it seemed.
Yeah, they'd sink one and then do it again, and that strategy did work.
In what's been a good season already, tonight's win will take their record to 50 wins, a big milestone here tonight.
Wow, they finished the season series undefeated. 4 games, 4 wins, really asserting their dominance.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Malcolm Brogdon.
Okay, I'm going to explain what he did here. It's called playmaking. Being someone that seeks out their teammates, making the extra pass.
Garland the pass to Mitchell. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. And so it's Brogdon who brings up the ball for the Washington Wizards. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. Buries it from three-point range.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
And it felt like they just flipped the switch to go on that run and seal the game. Saving their best basketball for the end. Always smart.
Yeah, man, it's close, but, you know, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Pass to Green. Cleveland moving the ball around. Now Merrill. Wade from outside drills the three-pointer. Brogdon outside. Here's Gill. The three-pointer off the mark. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And that'll do it, folks. Along with Greg Anthony, Richard Jefferson, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching tonight's presentation on 2K Sports. And now, our player of the game, Malcolm Brogdon.
Hello and welcome to Saturday night with the NBA on 2K Sports. An exciting game on the way. And on tap tonight, it's the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Washington Wizards at Capital One Arena. Brian Anderson here, joined by the Hall of Famer Grant Hill and Coach Stan Van Gundy. We'll hear from Allie LaForce, you know, in Game 2 of a back-to-back. Just how drained are you from yesterday as a player?
You know, BA, proper rest and stretching can help a lot. But you're not going to be your usual self at the start of game time. Believe that.
Let's take a look at our starters for Atlanta. Johnson at the 4 with Okongwu at the 5. Dyson Daniels out there with Trae Young. And it's Risacher in at small forward. Young, the pass to Daniels. Pass to Risacher. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Hawks need to get one up here. And here's Okongwu for 3. Rebounded by Champagnie. And Washington with possession. And with their last victory, this team reached the 50-win mark on the season.
And they should be proud of what they've been able to accomplish. You can't just luck your way into 50 wins. You've got to be a good team to reach that feat.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Brian Keefe had a few moments to share with me. We talked about star guard Trae Young, their biggest problem tonight. Coach said Young is one of the most explosive offensive guys in this league. We want to make him a volume scorer. Force Trae into lower percentage looks. Should be a fascinating matchup, B.A.
All right, appreciate it, Allie.
Rising up, Brogdon, not your average point guard.
Pass to Daniels. Outside Johnson. Offensive rebound. Tries again. Okongwu, no good.
Yeah, they might want to think about a high percentage look the next time down the floor.
Here's Brogdon. Count it. All 3 of his attempts have gone in.
And they're building up steam, getting out in front and trying not to look back.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
Outside Johnson. Pass to Daniels. A shot to stop the run. Drains the triple.
Yeah, a complete offensive player. Daniels can set people up, and he can knock down shots.
And picked 20th back in 2021. Jalen Johnson might end up being the steal of that draft, Coach.
Well, look, Brian, when we see guys take a big jump like Johnson has, it's usually because they have shot the ball better like he has. He's really blossomed during his 3rd year and still has plenty of room to grow.
And down it goes. 2 points.
Inside, Daniels really uses his agility, getting nimble to find himself a shot.
Saddiq Bey, he's checked in for Champagnie. And while we can, let's bring up a list of the top scorers across the NBA in the past month. 5th on the list, Trae Young.
And this last month has been truly special for him. He's scoring at will and in a rhythm on offense.
Here's Brogdon into the lane. Coach, when you talk about the Atlanta Hawks, you got to start with Trae Young.
One of the most exciting players to watch in the NBA, Brian. He can shoot the ball from anywhere on the floor. He's a great ball handler and one of the most creative passers in the game.
And the veteran leadership Brogdon offers is tremendous. It's clear his younger teammates listen to what he has to say.
Sure, they don't want to send him to the line. That has to be in their scouting report.
Pass to Risacher. Young looking for an opening. Here's Risacher. Back to Young. Can't get it to drop. Ooh, some solid defense from Brogdon. All right, and we got a report from Shams Charania with news out of the Western Conference. Shams, take it away.
Thank you, B.A. Today, the stories about the Pelicans and the trade with the Portland Trailblazers. They got an adaptable combo forward in Jeremy Grant, and now he's added a lot to his repertoire offensively over the years, but hasn't lost any of that length and activity that first earned him a place in this league. Really, any team could use a player like Jeremy Grant.
Good stuff there, Shams. Thanks for keeping us in the loop. And that one drops.
And they've settled in quickly today. A nice flow and rhythm to their offense.
Outside Johnson. Back to Young. And here in the first quarter, a little over 3.5 minutes played. And it's Young again missing.
Another miss. He is struggling for the quarter.
Here's Brogdon. And there's the drive. And the layup falls. Brogdon's got 11 points.
Woo, he's piping hot. 4 for 4 from the field. No one can guard him out there.
And timeout, Snyder decides to call timeout. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. It's February. Let's see how things are shaping up in the East. You look at Washington, they've been outstanding thus far, claiming the top spot in their conference. And of course, there's the Hawks. Just need to keep fighting.
Well, right now for the Hawks, we'll see if they can up the ante down the stretch. They still have a lot of work to do in order to rise to the top.
Well, sometimes those teams that are on the edge can be the most dangerous. They play like they have something to prove.
And so it's Brogdon who brings up the ball for the Washington Wizards. 8-point game. Now here's Coulibaly. He's covered closely. A chance to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark.
That's how you want to see them crash to glass. They've been out-hustled.
1 hour, 16 minutes, and 29 seconds roughly.
Good job in the low post.
All right, thank you, D.
Obviously, guys, brilliant coaching, a perfect game plan.
Now Johnson. He's been a consistent contributor, averaging just over 11 a game. LeVert outside. Lets the three fly. And no good. And so it's Washington ending the quarter up 10. Great shot selection right now. Keeping the game simple and getting high percentage looks. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And what do you think about how the Wizards are doing here?
I'll tell you what, throughout the first, they did a great job of just running their offense.
Yeah, and I love to see this kind of communication between teammates. Great player movement, great ball movement.
All right, this is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second. Trae Young out there with Caris LeVert. Then it's Keldon Johnson. Then there's George Niang. And it's Nance in at the 5, roaming the paint. Well, Grant, aside from making the East Finals in 2021, how would you assess Trae Young's teams?
Well, they're always solid offensive teams. But Trae is the type of player that you need to surround with defensive-minded guys. And he hasn't really had that.
Fearless from Young inside.
Yeah, there's Trae Young getting it done inside.
Washington leading by 8. Bay outside. Puts up a 3. Knocks down the long J. Bay's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, that's a shot you don't mind him taking. Gets a good look and trusts his shot to knock down the 3.
Here's Young. And it's Young again missing.
All alone from mid-range. You gotta think he's kicking himself.
Pass to Champagnie. For 3. Rebound Atlanta.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
For Washington, they've got 2 of 3 shots to go in the second. The shot by Johnson, no good. Hawks trail by 11. Tries a 10-footer. Johnson with a bucket.
Going old school with the mid-range. Johnson.
And we've got a timeout from Brian Keefe. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. Gills checked in for Washington. Okongwu's checked in for Atlanta. Daniels comes in for Niang. Bay from long range hits the three-pointer. Bay's got 6 here in the quarter.
Well, that's his 3rd three-pointer in this game, and 2 of those came in the second, so he might be heating up.
Pass to Daniels. Johnson for 3. Knocks down the triple. Johnson's got 5 points.
And it's a great sign that Johnson's making threes. That really helps his team.
Coulibaly. And he gets the bucket. And the Wizards lead by 11. And Grant, we know the importance of the veteran leaders on a team, but not every vet wants to accept a mentorship role.
Very true, B.A. In your later years, that role becomes a blend of playing and kind of coaching. Not everyone is cut out for that.
And he comes up with a bucket. He's got 7.
Well, after a silent first quarter, this is who they needed him to be. This is why you never count a guy out.
Here's Johnson, and he's in the books. Now 1 for 2.
And good awareness by Bay. I mean, he has a nice feel for when his guys are uncovered.
Hawks trail by 11. Outside Young, and it goes out of bounds.
Out of
That
bounds.
one off Young. All right, let's take a break and take a look at which teams have been lethal from outside the arc during the last month of play. Washington, number 1.
Well, look, they've been great over the last month from 3. That is so important for their offense. Making threes opens up the entire floor.
Johnson, he's checked in for the Hawks. Risacher comes in for LeVert. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian, Jalen Johnson is developing the complete game. He said, I watch the guys who do everything. That's my mindset. I want to be at least solid in every department and then keep building on that, adding bits and pieces here and there. Brian, his versatility is already drawing attention league-wide.
Yeah, there's no question about that, Allie. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Their slim advantage on the board seems a lot larger than it is.
Here's Johnson, and he lays it up and in. Johnson's got his second basket.
That's been typical of their performance today. They're sharing the ball and creating good shots.
Pass to Daniels. Young against Johnson. Here's Risacher. Okongwu, a screen on Bay. The 3 from Risacher. His shot comes out. And so it's Johnson with it. He brings it up for the Wizards. 16-point lead, the largest margin in the game. For 3. Hey, no good. The Hawks have gotten over 50% of their shots to go. 5 for 9 in the second. A nice shot by Young. Young's got 9.
Well, he got off to a slow start, but now in the second, he seems to be finding his rhythm.
Coulibaly.
Somewhat close, but then I realized it's still the second. LOL.
Johnson on the wing. Oh, and Johnson.
Yes, it's still early.
Johnson, 2 loud points.
Here's Coulibaly. That's good. For the day, he's 4 for 6.
Adds to their lead. They've been able to rely on him all night.
Just 1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. To the middle. Out of bounds, it'll go to the Hawks.
And the misconnection there. Fans guarding their beverages. That's a pass he'd like back for sure.
There's 14 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Here's Risacher. No points so far. Over Middleton. And no good. Trying to get that one to fall. It's been all about Saddiq Bey for the Wizards. He dropped 3 threes in that quarter. They haven't found an answer for him yet. All right, Allie's ready to go. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
Coach Quinn Snyder with...
Thanks very much, Allie. And, folks, we'll be right back to start the second half of this game.
Thanks for tuning in. We love the mountain climbing, don't we? Well, there's a huge mountain to climb for the Atlanta Hawks.
They have to lock it down defensively. Giving up great shots is a great way to lose a game.
And if you're disruptive at that end, it creates transition offense. I'm telling you, that's where you get the easy looks.
All right, guys, time to see what the fans are saying on social media. And Cameron Windmill asks, which one of you has the best hair?
Okay, I could say this with supreme confidence. It's a tie.
Yeah, it's a 3-way tie at the top. Get it?
Yeah, Cameron Windmill, you might want to get a new TV. Or maybe an eye test. Thanks, as always, for watching. Let's head back to Brian Anderson and crew for the start of the second half.
just about ready for the second half here. A big comeback is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Boy, you gotta like what we're seeing from Saddiq Bey.
Through the first 2 quarters and change, his perimeter shooting continues to be spot on.
Yeah, he's been locked in tonight. Through the first 2 quarters, he's been a huge factor from outside.
They've got Chris Middleton, Malcolm Brogdon out there with Sarr. And it's Carrington in at the shooting guard position. That's the group for Washington right now. Inside. Oh, deflected.
Well, defensively, against a young guy like Sarr, his size and energy can be overpowering.
It's his first trip to the line.
1 hour and 27 minutes roughly.
All right. Thanks, D.
Good on the second one. We'll stand in this league. The opportunity always exists to make a name.
You are now rocking with the best. Welcome.
That maybe haven't gotten their opportunity. If they're ready when they get it, then they're going to burst onto the scene, and they'll no longer be under the radar guys. Look at a guy like Jalen Brunson, second-round pick, bench guy in Dallas for a long time, and then now an all-star.
Here's Riza Shea. He has a clear impact on this offense, putting up over 19 a game. Pass to Okongwu. And there's a 3-second violation. And let's see what Washington and the San Antonio Spurs. Then on Wednesday, they'll defend home court against the Indiana Pacers.
And you know, for that matchup with the Bucks, that's a game where you'd be surprised to see them lose. They'd have to have a really off night for them to get upset there.
Plenty of space. Okongwu, the pass to Johnson. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Johnson's gotten his second bucket of the game.
Probably a play they drew up in the locker room at half.
Yeah, I like how they're establishing their interior presence right away. That's going to collapse the defense and create other opportunities.
And Coach, with Okongwu adding a 3 to his game, it's hard to keep him off the floor now.
It is, Brian, and he can do a lot for a team when he plays. He can now spread out the floor. He can guard multiple positions. But the main thing Okongwu does is he is all over the glass.
Washington leading by 15. Oh, Brogdon gets a step. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Brogdon's got 18.
He's lighting them up. Tough to strategize a comeback when you're being run over.
Young, the pass to Johnson. The 3 from Riza Shea. Rebound, Washington. Sarr's got 5 rebounds in the game. Here's Brogdon. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson's got 4 rebounds now.
Only their first miss in 4 attempts. It's been a great start to the half.
Here's Riza Shea. Yep, that one goes. Riza Shea's got 5 points in the quarter.
It's always good to see Riza Shea mixing it up down low.
Brogdon up top, guarded by Young. 3-pointer is up. Middleton. The rebound by Atlanta. Johnson's got 5 rebounds tonight. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. The 3 from Riza Shea. Sarr pulls it in. Sarr's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
Yeah, those shots from him are certainly not helping their case.
It's stolen by Johnson. And he lobs it up to the rim. Alley-oop up top, hammer it home.
Sometimes you just have to throw it up to an athlete and let him do the rest. That's a great finish from Johnson.
Champagnie, that's goal.
That's inexcusable defense right there. You gotta contest the shot better than that.
Timeout, timeout. Quinn Snyder decides to call timeout. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over.
Let's give Coach credit. He's trying to find a way to squeeze the most out of every possession.
Well, that's the job, right? Your duty as a coach is to finesse your lineups so your guys get the best chance to succeed.
minute 31 left to play in the third quarter here. LeVert finds Johnson. Here's Daniels. Got it. Daniels has got his third bucket of the night.
And force-feeding the ball inside. I mean, no reason to go away from what's working.
Now here's Brogdon, guarding closely. And Brogdon with the stuff.
Yeah, Brogdon is giving his all on offense so far, putting in the sweat to be a difference maker on the scoreboard.
LeVert outside. Pass to Johnson. Here's Daniels. From the line, just 5 on the clock. It's rebounded by Washington. 41 seconds left in the third quarter. To the paint. It's stolen by Johnson. LeVert with the ball. Here's Nance. Still without a bucket. And Holmes pulls it down. Here's Gill. Pass to Brogdon. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up. It's going to be on Caris LeVert.
You can tell Brogdon is a savvy shooter, getting it off and getting the foul call.
And this will be his third and fourth free throws of the game here. And he drops the first. And so Brogdon nails both of them. Johnson with it. He's got 7. With the floater. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair.
And even from where we're sitting, you could clearly tell it was a foul.
Atlanta shooting their first free throws here for the night. And Johnson drops them both. Now here's Brogdon. Takes the 3. The shot no good. And so it's Washington in control with a 16-point advantage heading into the break. They just can't miss right now. Every shot they're taking, you assume, is going in. All right, stick around. We'll be right back after this. Well, there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Wizards leading by 16. Fourth quarter on the floor for the Hawks. Johnson is out there with George Niang. Then it's Larry Nance. Then it's Caris LeVert. And it's Young in at the point guard position.
When Bey gets hot, he doesn't slow down. And we're seeing what he can do with his confidence.
LeVert goes against Jones. Good on the bucket.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
Washington has gone 7 of 14 from the perimeter in this one. Bey from long range. And Young pulls it down. Hawks trail by 16. From deep. Oh, the bomb from Young. My goodness.
Yeah, and from that extended range, few do it better than Trae Young.
Jones from outside. Hits the trifecta. Jones has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Anything you can do, I can do better. That one felt a little personal right there.
Well, and as a fan of the game, you have to love these back and forth moments.
And the foul called on Caris LeVert. That's foul number 2 for him. Daniels checked in for Niang. Here's Bey. A 3 from the inbound. And again, Washington with a triple. And, Coach, you've been lauded by some of your former players for your pregame preparation. I've seen it myself in the broadcasting world.
Well, I've also been cursed by some of those players for my pregame walkthroughs, Brian. People thought they were way too long, but I just wanted to be as prepared as possible and was one that always believed I'd rather do too much than too little.
Jumps up. The shot by Johnson, no good. Washington leading by 19. Ooh, ripped away. And a fast break now for the Hawks. Here's Daniels. Oh, and makes it with the kiss.
And leaking out well in transition. I mean, I like seeing Daniels get rewarded for hustling.
And timeout is called by Brian Keefe. He was quite emphatic, demanding the timeout, clearly wanting to address strategy with his team. A new lineup here for Washington. Moving along, 2 minutes gone in the fourth. Young against Brogdon. Middleton from the outside, and good. Coming on the assist by Brogdon. And the Wizards lead by 20.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
Here's Young. Ooh, and he took a hard foul on the shot. So he'll head to the line to shoot a pair. Well, Coach, we know how good Young is offensively, but he gets heavy criticism for his defense.
Yeah, look, and at 6'1", 164 pounds, he has some obvious limitations, Brian, but he's shown improved effort as a defender, and it shows in his defensive rating.
And you have to have that scoring ability on the floor.
Yeah, and you know, Young gets to the line as much as any small guard.
Shot's good by Sara.
And just executing at a high level. I mean, taking what the defense allows and putting in the work.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
Outside Brogdon. And the league has made it clear, Grant, it sees streaming at the forefront of basketball viewing going forward.
Well, B.A., it's a no. And streaming opens a lot more options for engaging with fans while they watch.
And Quinn Snyder decides to call timeout. He clearly wants to talk it over and make sure everyone is focused. Just about 3 minutes through the fourth and final quarter here. Outside Johnson. Pass to Daniels. Shot clock at 5. Out of bounds. It'll be Washington's ball. .151 left in the fourth quarter. Out to the right wing. Brogdon from outside. That one goes. And that's his 9th made shot in 12 attempts.
They're really employing a deep range initiative here in the fourth, and it's working.
Yeah, it's always a little risky to lean this hard on the three-point shot, but when you're knocking him down, you might as well keep riding it.
Here's Risacher. Middleton covering. Pass to Johnson. 5 to shoot. Oh, Johnson slams it in.
It's safe to say they have dominated this game. The game wasn't even as close as the score says in a great win for the Wizards.
And the disparity in the talent was obvious by the end. Sometimes you just don't have enough ammunition to compete.
Yeah, B.A., just a total beatdown. And the next time these teams meet, I can't imagine it'll be any different.
And so they powered through to their 51st win of the year.
They had their number all year long. That 4-0 record says it all. They had the advantage in every crucial area.
And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for Malcolm Brogdon.
Well, offensively, they needed him to be aggressive, and he delivered. What a game.
Johnson passes to Bey from deep. Ooh, now 7 for 9 after that make.
This has to feel good. They gave their fans a show and secured the W.
Yep, the crowd gets to go home feeling good about the win tonight. Their team looked impressive.
Pass to Risacher. Johnson a screen on Jones. The
1 hour and 41 minutes roughly.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
There's 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Bey outside. Lets it go from deep.
Another game next.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do another one.
Here's Risacher. Outside Young. Here's Holmes. Oh, it's Holmes with the big jam. So we see the Wizards taking the W here. We saw two different teams tonight. One played with confidence, operating flawlessly. The other just was lost.
And the energy in this building was awesome. The crowd was involved from the jump, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see how it all came together.
That's the bowl game.
And now let's check in with Allie LaForce with the player of the game. Allie.
Malcolm, there's no question you won this game defensively. What were the aspects that enabled you to contain them so well?
Man, just being locked in, man, every possession. We didn't take any possessions off. Everybody guarded their lane, and we're there on the help side.
You have to be mentally exhausted. Thanks, Malcolm.
All right, Allie, thank you. And that about wraps it up.
1 hour, 42 minutes, and 20 seconds roughly. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.
The NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And now, time for our player of the game, Malcolm Brogdon.
You are now rocking with the best. Welcome. Are the Wizards still the worst?
Yeah, they finished the season with the worst record. Unfortunately.
Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. And tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Washington Wizards here in Capital One Arena. Kevin Harlan with you, joined by Doris Burke, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge reporting courtside. And a look now at the San Antonio Spurs' upcoming schedule. On Wednesday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the Boston Celtics. And then on Thursday, they'll be matching up against Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns.
And looking at this stretch for them, I think they should have no problem dispatching most
Support
of their
the stream.
if they can avoid
Hit the Cash App dollar bake fire.
to the level of the competition. But that's easier said than done.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. In the backcourt, it's the veteran Paul paired with Castle. Sohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembanyama playing the 5. And it's Vassell in at the 3. And for Washington, we've got Chris Middleton, Malcolm Brogdon out there with Song. And it's Champagnie in at the power forward. And on these rosters, Doris, some interesting young and upcoming talent. Scary to think, isn't it, how good they might actually be.
Young talent means, Kevin, they have to grow. And the way you grow is playing big-time games against other talented players. So what a great opportunity on both sides against quality competition to see exactly where you're at.
Paul with the buckets.
There's an elusivity to Chris Paul's play. He's got the knack to get into the teeth of the defense and make something happen.
Here's Brogdon. And they call the foul, so he's got the and-one chance here to make it a three-point play.
No clue how he got that one to fall.
We know, Doris, at one point, the Wizards had one of the most unique pairings in NBA history.
Think back to 1987, 1988, the year you're talking about, when the 5'3" Muggsy Bogues was a teammate of Manute Bol, who stood 7'7" tall. At the time, they were the tallest and shortest players in NBA history with 28 inches between them. Incredible.
Here's Sohan. 8 points his last outing. Pass to Castle. That drops. Nice feed that time from Wembanyama.
A bigger guard, 6'6" Castle, can just overwhelm defenders. Impressive for his age.
For 3, Middleton sinks the triple.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
For Washington, they won their last contest, that game against the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, they took advantage of some porous defense in that one. Really got the shots they wanted.
Give them some credit. I'll tell you this. They caught an opponent on a very off night defensively, and you take advantage. Simple as that.
The real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Here's Carrington. 3-pointer. And again, Washington with the triple.
And I love seeing Middleton rise up there with confidence, knocking it down for that corner 3.
Vassell outside. Pass to Sohan. And the dunk by Sohan.
Well, not exactly one of those big, burly power forwards, right? He depends on his leaping ability more than those guys, and it serves him just fine. And Malcolm Brogdon getting off your feet in a hurry and leaving no doubt.
And on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you can see how impressive that move was. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Vassell outside. And Wembanyama outside. Just 5 on the clock. Paul outside. And it's off from three-point range. Wizards have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. You asked Greg Popovich about Victor Wembanyama, and he says Victor's a different player. He's got talents, and you don't want to take that out of him. I tried to do that with Manu Ginobili, and I learned my lesson. Just shut up and let him play. Victor does some amazing things. His game is all-encompassing. Kevin?
That's a great way to put it, D.A. It is all-encompassing. Wembanyama is one of one. Hey, thank you for the report. The Spurs making a switch here. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Victor Wembanyama. Kenrich Williams comes in for Sohan. Isaiah Joe, he's checked in for Devin Vassell. And it's Fox in for Chris Paul.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Out to the right wing. Here's Bay. Drains it from beyond the arc.
Showing the range. How about Bay taking and making his fair share of those triples.
Here's Castle. He's defended by Koulibaly. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. He's been on fire lately. Let's take a look at your Eastern Conference Player of the Week, Malcolm Brogdon.
And you can see how valuable he is to the team with the amount of offense that he generates. Rarely is there a bucket where he didn't have a hand in creating it.
There's 53 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Washington's gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. Gill misses.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
And the quickness Fox has, boy, it's impressive. Just coasting to the cup with ease.
Bay passes to Gill. Over Williams. Gill misses.
Normally he'll drill that shot, and I'm sure they'll look to find him in that spot again.
No doubt. Very good play called, good execution. Sometimes it just doesn't fall.
Over to the left wing. Latrey kept alive. Here's Holmes. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
There have been a lot of lead changes. My goodness.
Fox from outside. Another miss by Fox. Both teams have it going here early and still close through the first quarter. Wizards lead by 1. We'll be back shortly, live from Washington. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second.
Absolutely dialed in from beyond the arc so far in this one. The defense is surrendering the long-range shot here early on.
Yeah, and in addition, their ball movement has really unleashed their offense. Boy, they've been fun to watch.
On the court for San Antonio here in the second. They've got Clint Capella. Fox is out there with Isaiah Joe. Then there's Wembanyama. And it's Branham in at the small forward.
If Fox gets cut off from inside, he has options. That mid-range is a big part of his repertoire.
And DB, the measurables jump off the page for Coulibaly. 6'8", with a 7'2" arm span.
Kev, that's the kind of length that would allow someone to be a menace defensively. Let's remember, he was the 7th pick back in 2023. The Wizards clearly very high on this young guy's potential.
And the Wizards with possession, following the bucket by the Spurs. Here's Coulibaly. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Coulibaly's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And that's one way to extend the lead. Continue to light it up from long range. They have all the confidence in the world right now from the three-point line.
Johnson outside. Bay passes to Johnson. The 3. Hits it from three-point range. Johnson's got the lead up to 6 now for the Wizards.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Here's Fox. Washington with the rebound. He lobs it up.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. And here's Wembanyama. He'll bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
The mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
I thought what really stood out was how dominant they were on the offensive end. That was about as flawless as you could hope for. Well, nice job crashing the glass. You'd love to see that kind of effort.
Joe finds Fox. Here's Wembanyama. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Magic in Orlando.
The other thing I thought was big, guys, was the incredible night he had on the glass. No one wanted any part of him down there.
Well, some have argued that Wembanyama deserved Defensive Player of the Year consideration in his rookie year.
And, Kevin, I could see where they're coming from. His team went from a bottom 5 defense to a top 5 defense when he was on the floor. His impact is amazing.
On the wing, Coulibaly, defended by Paul. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Vassell, no good.
Well, if the defense gives him that shot next time, they could get burned. I think he's just a little bit out of rhythm.
Sarr gets the bucket.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Paul passes to Sohan. .157 left in the first half of basketball. Fader on the way and off the front iron, and in it goes. 6 points for Victor Wembanyama. On the wing, Jones. Pass to Coulibaly. Middleton for 3. A three-pointer is right on target.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Here's Castle. A 20-point game for him in the win against the Magic in Orlando. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, Commissioner Silver has been direct. The NBA is hoping for more competitive All-Star games. I've said as much before, but last year's high-scoring All-Star game did precede the league's not so subtle move to cut down on foul calls and allow for more defense overall. They are trying to get it right. Kevin?
And it couldn't be a great game without defense, so we like the direction. DA, thank you. San Antonio making a switch here. Capella's checked in.
Yeah, and they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
Spurs trail by 9. Here's Castle. 7 points in the game. Back to Capella. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Paul. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And that's Capella getting rewarded for his effort on the glass. Love when that kind of hustle pays off.
Here's Carrington. And he can extend the lead to double digits.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage. A power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could. Pass to Brogdon. Here's Champagnie. Launches a 3. Rebounded by Castle. Shot from 12. And Sarr pulls it down. Here's Champagnie with 4 seconds on the clock. And Sarr with the layup. Sarr's got his second bucket of the night.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need him.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Wizards out front. They lead by 7. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Chris Middleton. Chris, a big effort from you guys in the first half. How do you keep that momentum going?
Come out with energy, just try to keep pushing the ball and get stops.
We know that's Coach's emphasis, Chris. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
Hey, folks, welcome to the halftime show. A lead right now in this one for the Washington Wizards.
Gotta appreciate the way they're moving the ball. The offense is flowing like my rap game. When you bring the right beat, you know my name.
You know what? It is a debate. Were you a better rapper or you a better DJ as you are today?
No, that's me, Kenny. DJ EJ. And moving on, let's take a peek at how the East is shaping up here in the midseason.
Right now for Washington, Halloween was a long time ago, but this team is still the scariest group in the league. They're striking fear into every team that has to go against them, Shaq.
You're starting to scare me, Kenny.
Oh, okay.
And that is it for halftime, folks. It is back to Kevin Harlan and the crew for the second half.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Chris Middleton has really been making it happen, guys.
And he's going to put up
2 hours roughly.
Boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
All right. Thanks, D. Yeah, this is going to be the last game right here.
And the endurance to do just that.
It's been a few years now, Doris, but it feels like point guard is the position in the NBA.
Well, Kevin, we certainly have our share of great point guards. Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they seem to be in the MVP conversation.
For the day.
But the last couple MVPs,
Yeah, I think so.
for a long time, the small forward spot dominated the game. It's really something that's in constant flux.
We've got Brogdon. Sarr out there with Chris Middleton. And it's Carrington in at the 2 spot. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. Now, here's Vassell. He's got 5. Clock is at 3. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And now let's highlight the deadliest deep threats to come into the NBA this season on our rookie leaderboard. You look at Castle, one of the best shooters in the NBA, top 5 in the league at this moment.
And I think there's a little rivalry among that group of rookie bombers. I know he'd love to see his name all the way at the top of the list. A generational talent For Wembanyama, the sky is the limit and the reality.
You know, Greg, with a combination of Wembanyama and Coach Greg Popovich, the Spurs should be a great defensive team.
It's hard with a young roster because all 5 guys have to work in unison, and often someone's going to make a mistake.
Here's Champagnie after the basket by San Antonio. And again, Washington with the triple.
Wow, what a start. 3 for 3, terrific play calling, everything clicking out of the gates here.
Sochan with the ball. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Sochan's got 5 points so far. And we've got a timeout called by Brian Keefe. Looking for a breather and maybe just 1 or 2 things to talk about. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. For 3, Middleton, and the Wizards hit again from deep.
And still perfect for the second half. 4 straight makes.
Spurs trail by 12. With the drive. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
You like how Castle plays at his pace, accelerating when he wants to.
Here's Brogdon. Takes it off the glass. Brogdon's got the lead up to 12 now for the Wizards.
Wow, 5 straight buckets coming out of half. They are rolling.
Wembanyama sets a screen for Vassell. Ball outside. Here's Sochan. And Sarr pulls it down.
They tried to stay perfect in the half, but 3 for 4 now.
Brogdon the pass to Sarr. Wizards passing it around. Puts up a 3. And again, Washington with the triple.
They've given up a lot of 3-pointers here today.
Pass to Sochan. Knocked loose. Back to Paul. Here's Castle. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
I'll tell you, what a night. He has been efficient. He's been strong. Unfortunately, they're still fighting an uphill battle.
Here's Champagnie. And again, Washington with the triple.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Here's Castle. Trying to come right back with the 3 of his own. It's no good. To the right side. Here's Carrington. No good from outside. And it's Paul with the ball for San Antonio. It's a 16-point game. Pass to Sochan. Shoots over Brogdon. Rebound, Washington.
Boy, against so little defensive pressure, you have to convert that.
Inside. Here's Champagnie. Good defense by Wembanyama.
Never easy to stop this guy at the rim, but that is a beautiful contest right there.
Washington with the rebound. Champagnie's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Carrington. And a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. Brogdon's got his 3rd assist on the night. Spurs trail by 18. Paul outside. Pass to Castle. Wembanyama high post. Washington with the rebound. Champagnie's got 7 rebounds in the game.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Letting the big man Sarr go to work inside. I like seeing him being aggressive down low.
And this will be the last possession of the quarter if they're patient.
Well, it's amazing. If you finish quarters the right way, it can have such a great impact on the outcome of a game. Well, as usual, this guy cooking on the offensive end. But right now, the other guys on his team have got to step forward.
Champagnie, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. This is his first free throw of the game. That free throw, no good. And the second free throw, good. 6 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. In a deep three from Fox. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the Washington Wizards taking a 19-point lead into the break. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this.
2 hours and 6 minutes roughly.
You love to see your off guard taking over the play.
Thanks, Steve.
With this much skill.
You love the unselfishness, finding the best look, and it doesn't matter who's taking it.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. On the floor for San Antonio starting the fourth quarter, they've got Isaiah Joe. Clint Capella is out there with Victor Wembanyama. And it's Fox. And it's Champagnie in at the 3, the small forward. And so it's Washington with it after the basket by San Antonio. Bangs home the trifecta. And the Wizards lead by 20.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
It's Joe on the wing. He's defended by Coulibaly. Here's Capella. And the dunk by Capella.
It doesn't get any easier than this. Capella's work ethic is what allows him to get those dunks.
Back to Bay. Makes a fantastic move and nails the shot. Bay's got 5 points now in the quarter.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
To me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Here's Joe. Shot clock at 6. Lets it go with a 3. Good, and a nice assist from Fox. Joe's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Here's Bay. And again, Washington with the triple.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. Vassell outside. Well, when you talk about the NBA going global, the last 6 MVPs, Doris, as you know, all international players.
Kevin, what I love about this is the NBA wants the best players, regardless of where they come from. There's a time where American players just dominated that award for years and years. Fact of the matter is, it's good for the game to get the baddest, best players in the world, and we've done that.
Here's Brogdon after the basket by San Antonio. And he converts the layup. And the Wizards lead by 20.
Well, that's the attitude Malcolm Brogdon hopes to bring every night. You can't be passive. He is going to attack on the interior.
Now here's Paul. Pass to Castle. Back to Paul. Launches it. Here's Sohan. This one for 3. The rebound by Champagnie. Champagnie's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Back to Middleton. There's the 3. Yes, once again, he remains perfect. 6 attempts and 6 hits.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
And I think the defender knows once he gets cooking, look out. The bucket looks awfully big to him right now.
Washington leading now by 23. Brogdon the pass to Sarr. Too open that time. Made it look too easy.
Yeah, they're rolling right now. That lead continues to grow.
And one of the things that's helped that is they're getting it done on both ends. Terrific focus on offense, and they're locked in defensively.
Now here's Paul. Vassell outside. To halt the run. The shot by Wembanyama, no good.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Washington.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And for the year now, they'll have 52 wins under the belt.
A two-game season series. They win them both and complete the sweep.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Chris Middleton.
What this guy has given to you on the offensive end.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. San Antonio with the ball. Outside, Fox. No good with the triple. It's been a nice stretch for them offensively.
I mean, the communication's great. The movement's been really good. This is solid team basketball.
Gill misses.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. And now we present the player of the game, Chris Middleton.
For myself and Joe, who's behind the controller, we thank you all for watching. Enjoy your day/afternoon/and/or evening.
Yeah, thanks for that, D, and thanks for your time today. Appreciate you. Thank everybody for coming through and watching. Everybody catching the replay. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Peace. Oh, be back tomorrow night for the playoffs.
Thanks D-Moderator Extraordinary. Thanks everyone for watching. Like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe and share. Victory hand.